We're rolling.
Welcome back, episode 4 of Table 49. Today we're going to be making a wonderful stuffed French toast with creme brulee. So we have our ingredients here, you can find them below. We're gonna start off with our eggs. For creme brulee, you can make a lot of it if you love creme brulee, or just don't. We're gonna make just enough to fill enough French toast. So we have here 4 eggs, and we're gonna separate them. I don't separate eggs in the traditional way. People would get mad at me if I were in a kitchen, I'm sure. I don't know. I just put them through my fingers. So you're gonna do that 4 times. What we want here is the yolks. Oh. Okay, so we've got 4 egg yolks in one, 4 egg whites in another. You can use this to amp up your eggs in the morning for meringues. It's good to have in the fridge. Don't buy those pre-boxed egg whites when you can have them yourself. Then, to a KitchenAid mixer, you're going to add a 1/4 cup of just regular sugar and your yolks. Ready for the beastly sound? Stir until just combined. Let that sit for a bit. There's no worries there. Okay, now 1 cup of heavy cream. The heavier you can find, the better. It makes all the difference how heavy your cream is. If you're indulging, why not just like indulge all the way? It's my life motto. Okay, so in a saucepan, we're gonna add our cream. At this point, if you wanted to flavor your creme brulee at all, this is where you would be adding it. Cardamom pods are actually so good in creme brulee, so you could add a few of those in. Should we? Should we? Should we do it? No. Yes. They smell like chai. So we're just gonna add a couple of those. They're really flavorful. You're not gonna bite down on these. If you do, whatever, but we're gonna take them out at the end anyways. Then we're gonna bring this just to a scald. So that's just before it hits boil. What's really helpful with that, just to take away any stress, is to just get a cheap little candy thermometer. Once it hits 100, you're there. Let it go. Or just before 100, just before. Basically, if you touch it and it's hot. Not a morning person. This is why I go out for brunch most of the time. I like can't be bothered. Okay, so we have our scalding cream. Just give it a little, if there's any skin, just get rid of it. We're gonna put this on low again, and we're going to very slowly add this so that the eggs do not cook. Good luck, John Spartan. Now the next step is very important, and a lot of people forget it. I was shocked Ina Garten didn't even say this in her recipe, and she's my literal Jesus. We're gonna strain this because the chances are some of the eggs did cook. I mean, you're not Bill Nye, you don't know. So let's strain it. Super easy. Actually, before we do that, I'm so discombobulated. Just give it another stir to make sure everything from the bottom has been incorporated. Sometimes those automatic beaters, you need the human touch. Now we go. Oh, look at all that cooked egg. Vanilla. I don't buy vanilla beans because I don't know why or how. I'm sure it has something to do with climate change. They're so fucking expensive. So use vanilla extract. Like, fuck it. You don't need to be fancy and bougie. Just get it done. So I'm not even gonna measure this. I need more coffee, Jordan. Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, ramekins. Let's get some ramekins out here. Like little tiny dishes. I'm gonna pop bubbles because I just like to torture myself. You don't have to, it'll probably settle out once it's in its water bath. Okay, our oven's at 300. We're going to put these into a water bath. Is that what it's called even? What am I calling it? A great tip that my Bible taught me, not the Bible, my Bible, The Joy of Cooking. You want to put a wet cloth, well it's going to be wet anyways, but put a cloth on the bottom of your baking device, contraption, your dish, just so that your custard doesn't come in direct contact with the heat of the dish, because this is going to be very hot and we want this to stay nice and pudding-like. It's not going to catch fire, we're only at 300 degrees with our oven, and this is going to be soaking in water. So just do that, lay them in nice and flat, and we're going to fill it up halfway with boiling water. Pop it in the oven for about 40 minutes, but keep your eye on it. You want it just until it's jiggly.
How you doing?
Give me another 5 hours. We'll be going. After about 40 minutes in the oven, we're gonna pull those out, let them cool. You want that jiggle. And then you're gonna refrigerate them for minimum 8 hours. So this is great to do the night before. You can do it a couple days in advance. Just be ready with your desserts. I made this the night before. No, but I did. I made this the night before. So this has been, when did I put this in the fridge? At like midnight, and it is now 9. Boom, custard, nice and solid. If you were to do traditional French creme brulee from this point on, you would cover this in sugar, like a nice fine layer, and you would torch it. We're not doing that because we're crazy and we just love sugar. So we're gonna just add French bread and stuff it with our delicious mixture. Okay, more eggs, because I'm getting paid by the egg people. Put a couple of these in. This is gonna be your mixture for your French toast. Let's add some more cream. Let's just do it. I don't measure my French toast. I'll put the recipe below for this mixture, but basically if it's like nice and watery and pooly, it's too watery. If it's too creamy, it's too creamy. It's all about the heart when it comes to cooking. A little vanilla. Actually, it's probably too much. A little sugar. Little cinnamon. Cinnamon's really strong, so don't go overboard. Go a bit board though. And then we're gonna whisk it. When it's like that, you're good. It's not like you're making scrambled eggs. With stuffed French toast, you don't have to do creme brulee. That's a bit fantastic, but you can do a really good one is cream cheese, blueberry jam, some lemon zest. That's a great stuffing. You can even do brie cheese, apples. Oh, this is my least favorite thing in the kitchen. It's the worst bread knife I've ever seen in my life. Okay, chunky size, like Gap Husky here. If it has an end, cut that off because that won't sear nicely. Oh my God. This was just made this morning. It's so nice. Like that's one of the perks of getting up at 7 a.m. Let's go like that.
Nice thick piece. All the top down.
Yes, Jordan, it is a nice thick piece. You have to put that in. Okay, I don't know why I've chosen the largest knife. That's so dangerous. You're gonna cut into the center. 8 times out of 10 this works. Make sure you're going directly down. Let's do the other one. This is the closest I've ever felt like I'm on Grey's Anatomy. Oh, okay. So if you do make a hole, whatever, like just deal with it. How will we deal with it? Let's patch her up. Never worry if you make mistakes in the kitchen. Everything you see on TV is just like so bogus. Julia Child said, if you drop a duck on the floor, nobody's gonna know. So just, look, we patched it. Okay, so we've got our custard, you can see. It's like a pudding. Open your bread pocket and pop that bad boy in. You can squeeze it gently and push it to the bottom, and keep doing that until it comes almost to the top. Okay, so we've stuffed them, just giving them a little wipe. Now when you cook these, if you're feeling a bit nervous, you can always put a toothpick through here and that'll close it up while it's cooking. I can't find my toothpicks, so we're living on the edge. We're gonna drench these in our egg mixture, just a few seconds on each side. Be gentle. Oh, our patch top didn't hold up. That's okay. Drain off any excess. If it's like nice and spongy to the touch, you're good to go. For pan wise, you could use any pan you want. I'm using non-stick because I'm not confident in the mornings. So we're gonna use a non-stick pan so nothing sticks, but we're gonna put butter on it. Never use like a non-stick spray with non-stick pans. It'll just fuck it right up. You never wanna bring this to a high heat. This is gonna be a medium-high tops. What else? The Le Creuset non-stick pan's really great because you can actually put it in the oven. It's one of the few to do that. There's nothing harsh in this chemical-wise. It's a beautiful pan. Shout out Le Creuset. This is a crepe pan, so you can make crepes in it. I do fajitas as well. A shallow pan's really good if you want extra control, I find. Now we're just gonna melt this to give it a bit of extra flavor. You also can let it melt naturally and not use your finger like a Neanderthal. Once it's sizzling, pop it on. My child. Yeah. Perfect. I always keep anything that I'm frying, like French toast, chicken wings, anything that can kind of sog up. I get a nice cookie rack like this, and then that way the air comes through and you're not getting any sogginess. I'm gonna give this a quick wipe because we've got some brown butter building, which does have flavor, but we don't want that right now. And then I'm gonna put more butter in and we're gonna fry our second piece. Okay, let's set up this for fire. Let's set it up for fire. We're gonna torch some creme brulee sugar onto this French toast. Make sure it's a little cool so your sugar doesn't melt completely. This is good, I think. You're gonna do a thin layer. Okay, more than a thin layer of sugar. Make sure it's a bit even so you can kind of get in there and fake it. Okay, you can get these anywhere basically. Well no, that's untrue. I'll put a link to where you can get them below. It's just a butane torch. Get the gas going, fire. Let's do it. Moving it so that it's not actually burning any part of it. Close enough that it's actually starting to melt and bubble. So constantly keep moving it slowly so that you're not actually like burning any area. Just keep it nice and even, basically. So once you torch your sugar, what you can see here, if you look at this one, can we see this? Mm-hmm. Okay. I put too much sugar on that, so it kind of isn't as even. There's a huge layer of it though, which is fun and delicious. This one was more even and less sugar. You still have that hard crunch, it's just not as uneven. Both are good, you're gonna cover it with sugar anyways. More sugar. On top of this, I was gonna put whipped cream, but it's so rich inside already with that custard and creme brulee. So we're just gonna do a nice icing sugar on top, just a little bit. It's gonna be sweet as it is. Okay, maybe a bit more, it's winter. All cup. And then we're gonna do some lemon zest. Got a new microplane. We'll do a couple blueberries, you know? They're not in season, so enjoy your life. It's expensive in winter. Oh my God, I watched this thing about Alaska and Alaska prices. Oh, chocolate. This is gonna be a semi-sweet chocolate. Milk chocolate would be very sweet. Okay, so I want you to hear the tap. You wanna hear the tap? Oh, it worked. So you can trick people. They're gonna be like, oh, thanks for the French toast. And then they're gonna like be like, oh my God, it's creme brulee. That's what I would say. Well, that's what I did say. Okay, should we try it?
Yes.
Okay. So we've topped it with maple syrup. It's a little drum. Should we cut down the center so we can see what the inside looks like? Why not? That's fun. So you just have to break the top into the crystals like you would with creme brulee.
Oozing.
Oozing! Oh my God. I'm putting a patent on this. It's so delicious. It's actually not overly sweet, and I think that's because the sugar is kind of browned. It's not just like you're having raw sugar. And the custard, it wasn't overly sweet either. The cardamom might be acting in a nice way. Oh my God, I can't talk anymore. I have to eat, excuse me. And that didn't take too long. That was kind of painless. Definitely a great holiday or any day brunch. Feel free to follow along for more things, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Oh my God, can you try this?
Yes, brings that next level. Mm.
Are you ready?
Mm.